What's up, party people? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are testing out some viral makeup that I bought from TikTok. TikTok made me buy it because I have no self-control. Yeah, you're gonna get some honest reviews from a viral makeup cynic. And let's see if this stuff is really worth the hype and worth the virality, the viralness, worth being viral. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. Why is her name so hard to say? Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Exaggerate Liner Duo. I think the shade name is like 6. On one side you get the black, and on the other you get the metallic champagne. It wasn't necessarily the black side that was going viral. It was mainly the metallic champagne, because there for a hot minute, I mean literally everything viral is a hot minute, everyone was putting on a metallic champagne for the waterline, and like I love that idea. Like I do think it looks really pretty on some people, but like how do you guys get it to actually show up? Nothing wants to stay put there, especially like a lighter shade like a metallic champagne. But I do get the idea. It does give you like a very like eye-popping kind of effect. However, why buy this pencil if you're only going to do the metallic champagne? Because girlfriend, let me tell you, there are tons of metallic champagne shades or like-minded colors that will give you the same effect. Like this was like $30? $32. Oh my God. But as far as the black shade goes, it does set down pretty fast. It doesn't really give you a whole lot of work time with it. Like I'm trying to blend it and smudge it out, and it's like, it's just sticking and it's not really wanting to maneuver and, you know, do what I want it to do. Like it's smooth, but at the same time, there's a lot of grip to it. So like it starts gripping down and then you can't like slide it around. I want to be honest, I feel like Charlotte Tilbury as a brand is pretty overrated. It's almost become like a status symbol. Like it's kind of like a stigma, like, oh, you're talking about Charlotte Tilbury, like she's a real life makeup artist and her products they're overpriced. Yeah, we're gonna come back to the champagne side later on and do my waterline after I have my face makeup on, but I mean, it's not worth $32. This is the Milani highly rated anti-gravity mascara. So this has gone viral for a long time. Like this was everywhere for a little bit. Here's what one layer looks like. We got a little messy, we'll clean it up later. So it definitely does give more volume and thickness versus length, but we'll see what the second layer does. Okay, so it definitely, with the second coat, is layering up the volume. Like this is super thick, and it's a super jet black formula, so that's good. But I will say the more I layer it, the more it's getting clumpy, which it specifically says does not clump or smudge. I mean, I'm okay with a little bit of clump. Like I'm not like a clumpsist. I think it's because it's a drier formula. So let's go over here and be a little bit faster with my layering. Okay, so there's 2 light layers of this versus 2 fuller layers on this side, and also I was just taking too much time on this side. So I think applying it quicker and applying thinner layers definitely works in its favor. Definitely looks more full, more like fanned out, and the length is pretty good, but it's not the best in length, but I mean, I feel like the volume and thickness make up for it. So for foundation, I picked up the Ulta Complexion Crush Foundation. This is one viral product that I highly recommend. And what's so funny about it is like the claims are so humble. It just says buildable coverage with a natural finish. That's it. It's like a gel consistency. So it just completely melts into the skin and becomes almost like a second skin. The coverage is beautiful. It definitely is a medium coverage starting out. You can build it up, especially if you let the first layer dry a little bit, but like first coat, look at that. A little bit does go a very long way with this. Like I only squeezed out one little thing and I've got my entire face almost done. But look at that. Like I don't know if you guys can see how beautiful that is. Like it almost looks like a tinted moisturizer with coverage. Needless to say, definitely worth the virality. So moving on to concealer. So I actually have a couple of concealer sticks. The Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer and the Almay Skin Perfecting Comfort Concealer. We'll start with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Concealer first. We'll do it on this side. So I'm in the shade Light. I've only worn this one other time because the first time I wore it did not give me the best experience. I don't know if it just kind of clashed with the foundation I had on that day or what, but it creased so bad. It was just completely breaking down and settling into every single line. I don't even have a lot of fine lines under my eyes. Like it was just making them. It almost looked like it was like a formula clash. As far as the coverage goes, it's actually pretty good. Like I would say this is a medium coverage. It feels very lightweight. It blends on very seamlessly. Like it feels very moisturizing. I mean, it does have hyaluronic acid in here, so that's probably why. Here's what it looks like with just one layer, and yeah, pretty good coverage. I'm gonna wipe off my brush and use the same one on the other side. By the way, this is a Zoeva 118. Brush. I got this at TJ Maxx. Also, I do want to mention that the eyeliner is already puddling into my inner and outer corner, so that's great. $32, what the fuck? So in this one, I'm also in the shade Light, so that works out. Okay, so here is the Almay and here's the Neutrogena. So, okay, the light shade in the Neutrogena is definitely more like peachy. So yeah, this one definitely feels more hydrating, a little bit more slip and moisture than the Almay. The Almay feels more like It's got more grip to it. I have worn the Almay one, but not enough to really get a good grasp on it. So it's really creamy, and it does have more of like a set down than the Neutrogena one. Like the Neutrogena looks really moisturizing and just very like dewy, and this one has more of like a natural, almost like a satin matte kind of finish. So yeah, there's the Almay and here is the Neutrogena. So yeah, more coverage on the Almay side. I think I like this side better because of the coverage, and I feel like there is more grip to it. Like it's not as moisturizing and slippery. So yeah, I'm just gonna set these to the side for right now. We'll come back to them and see how they look after a few minutes of not setting them and stuff to see if they crease and whatnot. So to be continued. For my brows, I feel like I talked about this in a recent video, and I don't know if it was something to do with viral makeup. If it was, and this is a repeat, I'm sorry, because I've really come to appreciate like talking about products multiple times, because I'm so tired of this beauty culture where you talk about something one time and you move on to the next thing. Like you go out and you spend your hard-earned money on stuff that people recommend and really hype up, and then you never see it from them again. So it's like, did you really like it? Like, was it really worth it? This is the e.l.f. Brow Lift, and oh my god, this has become one of my favorite brow products to date. So yeah, it's just a clear gel, and what I really like about it, aside from the hold and stuff, is that it kind of gives you that soap brow look without having to do all the steps. Like you don't have to spray it first with a setting spray or water. You don't have to do anything but just take your spoolie, dip it in there very, very lightly, like you need the smallest amount of this, and you just comb it through the way you want, and just effortlessly it gives you tons of hold and tons of lift. Even before you do any kind of brow color, like before you tint them at all, it actually looks like you filled them in. Like when you're manipulating the brow hairs and kind of like combing them up, like you're kind of filling in sparse areas, so it makes your brow look darker with it than without it, even though it's clear. So yeah, I love this stuff so much. Definitely worth being viral. So not much has changed with the concealers. I am getting a tad bit of like creasing starting to happen with them, but it's still not very bad. I do think though the Almay one just looks better. So these are like slightly viral. Like I don't know if they're really like viral status yet, but I feel like if they're not yet, they're probably gonna be. These are the RCMA, what are these called? These are just little highlighter sticks that look like lipstick, like they're like a lipstick kind of compartment. You get 3 of them. They're $36, which is a little pricey. And these shades, like I'm only gonna be able to use like 1, maybe 2 if I mix them. There's definitely not one in the mix that I feel like I could wear by itself, because there's like an icy pink, which is not for my skin tone. There's like a 24 karat gold kind of shade, and then there's like this mid-toned rose gold bronze. Granted, RCMA is more of a makeup artist brand, so it's geared towards people who are gonna be mixing and matching and working on all skin tones, so like I get it. I've already swatched the icy pink right here, but these literally feel like silk. I don't think I've ever felt a more creamy, glidey kind of stick highlighter. Look at the sheen, look at the shine, like they're just so smooth, and like that's just, oh my god, it looks like I want to say a light bulb, but I don't know why. Let's do a little mixy matching of the lighter icy pink and that rose gold shade. So it's a little pink. Let's see what it looks like when you add in a little bit of that gold. It almost makes like a gray kind of shade, so I don't know about that. Let's go on this side where I don't have anything but foundation and stuff. Let's just do the icy pink starting out. We'll kind of layer them up one at a time. And I typically don't like icy or pink undertone highlighters, like it just clashes with my skin tone, but that one meshes in really well, and it's not even like a strong icy pink when you blend it out. Like it almost just looks like, I don't know, it just looks like skin. You have a lot of glow, but it just looks really dewy, very glassy. Like it almost looks like one of those like translucent dewy sticks. Let's do the rose gold bronze shade now, like the mid-tone shade, just a little bit on there. Let's just see if it warms it up and mixes well. So, okay, I like that combination. That's really, really pretty. This is mirror-like. Like, look at that. That is just, oh my god, like I am shocked by that. I've not worn these before. Like I've only swatched them, so I've never seen them on my skin. I get it, man. I get the hype, man. Okay, so I spent enough time on that. Let's move on to the blush now. So this is the Essence Mosaic Blush in the shade 40, the Berry Connection. And I'm sure everyone has seen that Dior blush, this one over here. It's like a lavender pink. Somehow it's supposed to work for every skin tone. It's supposed to be flattering for everyone. So this is supposed to be a dupe for that. So this is that same kind of lavender pink, very cool tone, but it's supposed to look, whoa. It's supposed to look really flattering. So let's see, my friend. It's actually kind of really pretty. Like it looks really youthful and summery, but I also feel like it could work really well in the wintertime too, where it does have that cool tone-esque quality to it. Like I feel like this is gonna look like you're kind of frostbit, but also like you're kind of sunburned, which I don't really know why those two things are the Golem makeup, but that's what they say nowadays. Also, have you ever noticed that the way we apply blush and concealer, it makes us look like we've got a ring around our eyes, like we've been wearing sunglasses, and we have color everywhere but under our eyes? Maybe it's just me, but it just kind of looks funny to me now. Okay, I'm actually really impressed with this blush. Not just the color, but the formula. It doesn't look too powdery or matte, like it's not emphasizing texture and peach fuzz and stuff like that. Like, that is really pretty. Okay, so for powder, I have two, and I think the idea of this is what's viral. It's not necessarily this product itself, which is a pink powder for under the eyes. And this looks like straight up cotton candy. So this is the Ben Nye face powder in the shade Pretty Pink. I got this from Camera Ready Cosmetics. I actually got it at the same place where I got the RCMA cream highlighters. Here's what the powder looks like when you first swatch it. So it looks very pink. But as you can see, when you work it in, it almost turns translucent. So there's what a light layer looks like. I'm not seeing it. I will say the formula is really nice though. It's not too like coarse, like talky feeling. Like, it does feel really smooth, and it does sink right in and mattifies a good amount. Like, not too much, like it's not too drying or anything. It doesn't necessarily look brighter. It just looks, it just kind of fused into my blush. I will say though, it doesn't look too pink. It really just looks like too dark of an under eye setting powder. The other powder I have is so viral. I finally caved in. It took me a long time, but I'm here. This is the Kosas Cloud Set powder, and this is supposed to be like skincare and powder mixed. Yeah, people act like this is the powder to be. Like, it's supposed to be so smoothing, and it's supposed to be mattifying, but not too much. Like, it does leave some glow and luminosity behind, but it keeps your makeup lasting all day long. So very high hopes for this. Here's a shade Feathery. So this is supposed to be more for, I think it's like a light to medium skin tone, but I didn't want it to be too bright. Like, I don't really like a super bright powder anymore, so that looks like about my skin tone. Let's put it down here. It feels really, really soft, and it's just, oh my god, it's undetectable. So yeah, let's put it on with the brush on this side, and let's just kind of sweep it over my T-zone. I've not used this before today, so I can't tell you how it wears, but I will give you guys an update. It is just kind of like softening the skin, and it literally, oh my god, it just, that doesn't look like a powder. So on the other side, I'm gonna flip my little powder puff over, the one that I used for the Ben Nye, and I'm just gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do it with a powder puff. Okay, so that looks incredible. Like, that looks so smoothing and blurring. It's not too matte, but I'm mattified enough. I mean, my skin looks like poreless and like porcelain. Let's go back to that eyeliner pencil from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's do the metallic champagne on the waterline so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. This will definitely give you that really pretty, like, more awake, eye sparkle, eye pop kind of effect. But where it's so light, it probably will fade off faster than a darker shade. So just keep that in mind. Like, just don't spend a lot of money on these kind of things, because, like, I'm telling you, these are very dupeable. Yeah, here's a little side by side. So honestly, this side looks bigger. Yeah, it is nice and creamy and easy to apply, and like, it's not tugging or anything. Like, it goes on super smoothly, but I just don't feel like there's enough pigment to actually show up a lot on me anyway. We're gonna go back to that Milani mascara and put some on the lower lash line. We're just gonna leave it clear of any eyeshadow. Let's just keep it very bright and open. Next up is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite 16-Hour Wear Setting Spray. So yeah, it says 16-hour wear. It's supposed to be mattifying. I feel like this is one that if you apply a good amount of it, you get the best wear. People are saying this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, and I haven't tried it. Oh my god, that
2 hours later.
I need to spit somewhere. Oh my god, that's nasty. It's not too matte. Like, it definitely does give me some glow, but I've actually been enjoying this lately, so I feel like this is kind of one of those like second chancers that ended up surprising me. I'm just gonna put it on this side for right now and see if I can see a difference like as it dries, to see if it does, you know, enhance the glow, enhance hydration, stuff like that. Let's apply a little bit of lip liner, and let's do a gloss. I'm just gonna do the Rimmel Exaggerate full color lip liner in the shade Enchantment. So for lip gloss, actually lip oil, because lip oils are just all the rage right now, which, I mean, you guys know they're just lip glosses, right? Like, there's not a whole lot different. This is the Milani Fruit Fetish lip oil out of the shade Raspberry Peach. It has this big old thick, chunky, kind of curvy, angled doe foot applicator. It's really nice and like squid. What kind of noise was that? It's really nice and spongy. You know what this kind of reminds me of? Like the smell and the feel, just the texture as a whole. It reminds me of like the Bonnabelle, or like, you know, the kids makeup that we used to play with. Lip glosses were super glossy and kind of sticky and goopy, and they didn't really have a lot of color to them. They had like a whole lot of like flavor and scent. But honestly, I feel like this is mostly the lip liner, because even though these have different colors, like, I feel like they pretty much all look the same once you have them on. There's like an uncomfortable, heavy quality to them that I'm just not really digging. It's actually kind of hard for me to talk now. Like, it's like my lips are kind of sticking together, and I don't get it. Going back to the setting spray, so from side to side, I don't really see a huge difference. I may see a tad bit more of an enhanced glow, but to be honest, I feel like it just kind of sets what you already have. I don't know if it's just the products I've used with it lately or what, but I feel like whenever I do use this, my makeup does end up lasting really well, but I don't think it's the absolute best, but my opinion could change. I don't know. It's not bad. So far, I'm kind of like, I like it. Let's go ahead and do a little roundup of my best picks and also the ones I think you could pass on. So I do like the mascara, but I like it better when you apply it in thin, light layers. Like my eyes in general just look very emphasized. So I actually do like this one. The Charlotte Tilbury Duo Eye Pencil. This is totally overrated, totally overhyped. You could get a separate black and a separate metallic champagne and it would be cheaper, like way cheaper than this. And you'd also get more product because literally the product is from here to here on each one for $32. I think I've made my opinion very clear about the Ulta Complexion Crush Foundation. This is seriously one of the best. The RCMA stick highlighters, yes. The Essence Mosaic Blush, this is going into my everyday drawer. Like, I am super impressed with the color and the formula. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and hopefully you have gotten some direction. So give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Here's a couple more things for you to check out next. So just venture around the channel, make yourself at home as always. Subscribe if you're not already. Turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. Everything that I've used today will be listed below in the description box in a full-on breakdown. So check down there and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.